Your haircut looked fine in the mirror until someone tagged you in a photo. Suddenly, your jaw looks heavier, your eyes look smaller, and your hair just there. The truth is, hair that just sits there can make your whole face feel weighted down. It drags the jaw, hides your eyes, and somehow adds years, no matter how well you style it. But the right medium cut, with smart modern layers, that can change everything. This isn't about going shorter just because someone said you should, and it's definitely not about chasing what's trendy. This is about finding cuts that move with you, that lift your features, frame your face, and bring out that natural softness and light you know is still there. In this video, we're cutting straight to the good stuff, literally. I'll walk you through a curated set of modern, medium layered cuts that do one thing exceptionally well. They slim your face and add movement, without making you feel like you're trying too hard. These are cuts that flatter real faces, real texture, real lives. We're talking shoulder-grazing layers that frame the cheekbones, internal shaping that adds bounce without bulk, strategic volume that lifts without puffing. And yes, styles that actually look better when you move, not worse. Whether you've got fine hair, wavy texture, or you're working with gorgeous silver strands, there's a medium cut here that will work with your features, not fight against them. Welcome to Elder Insights, where we don't do makeovers, we do upgrades. Let's explore the styles that give you back the lift, the light, and the little spark that makes your reflection feel just right again. Number 1. The shoulder-grazing layered cut, soft, slimming, and effortless. Let's start with a true go-to, the shoulder-grazing layered cut with soft face-framing layers. Think of it as the perfect middle ground, long enough to feel feminine, but shaped enough to make a serious difference in how your face appears. This is not the stiff, stacked bob from 1998. It's lighter, more lived in, and far more flattering. The genius of this cut is in the balance. Layers start gently around the cheekbones and flow downward, subtly guiding the eye along your jawline instead of cutting across it. This creates a natural slimming effect, without relying on harsh angles or too much volume at the crown. The ends are often feathered or textured, which gives just enough movement to keep your hair from sitting flat against your skin. That space between hair and face, that's where the lift lives. This style shines on almost every texture, but especially on straight to lightly wavy hair. If your hair tends to fall limp or feel bulky, this cut gives it a sense of direction again. It says, I have shape, I have structure, but I also have freedom. Women over 60 often ask, will layers make my hair look thinner? The answer is no, not if they're cut correctly. Done right, these layers remove visual weight, not volume. They let your features breathe again. You'll start noticing your cheekbones more. Your jawline appears more defined. Even your neck feels elongated because the hair isn't sitting in one heavy block around it. And let's talk practicality. This cut grows out gracefully. It doesn't require weekly trims or constant styling. You can flip it out, curl it under, or let it air dry with a bit of wave. It's just long enough to pull back, just short enough to keep off your shoulders in summer. It works with silver, salt and pepper, or color-treated hair, and it plays beautifully with dimension and shine. One client once told me, I didn't realize how much my old cut was dragging me down until I saw how this one lifted me up. And that's really the point. The right cut doesn't scream change, it whispers clarity. Have you tried this length before? If yes, was it love or regret? Let me know in the comments. So if your current style feels like it's closing in around your face, this shoulder-grazing beauty might be your softest reset yet. And don't worry, we're just getting started. Up next, a longer, more voluminous twist on the layered look built to defy gravity and time. Number 2, the subtle lob with volume. Lift without the drama. You know that feeling when you catch your reflection in a shop window and almost don't recognize yourself? Not in a dramatic way, just that quiet thought, when did my hair stop doing anything at all? It's still there, but it's not saying much anymore. That's what I call silent hair. It doesn't offend, but it doesn't enhance either. And at this stage of life, we deserve a cut that does both. It should flatter and speak up, just like we do. Enter the layered lob with soft volume at the crown. This isn't a big, bouncy blowout or a tease 60s throwback. It's a cut that lifts the eyeline and lightens the overall silhouette, subtly, elegantly, and with just enough movement to feel fresh again. The magic here is in the weight distribution. The lob, long bob, sits slightly below the shoulders, which gives it that graceful swing when you move. But what makes it work after 60 is what happens on top. A bit of layered volume at the crown adds lift, which in turn elongates the entire face. It draws attention upward, not downward, and gently reverses that heaviness that tends to settle as we age. This cut is especially helpful if your hair has started to thin a bit or lay flat around the temples. Instead of fighting it, the layers work with your texture, creating space, dimension, and just enough height to open up your whole profile. Not to mention, it adds life to your expression in photos. It's also a style that works great with natural grays or highlights because the subtle layering helps color catch the light in different areas. That sparkle effect? That's no accident. It's design. And styling? Low effort, high reward. A quick blow drying with a round brush or even a volumizing mousse at the roots is all it takes. You don't need rollers. You don't need tricks. You just need the right shape in the right place. One viewer once wrote, "This cut made me look less tired without makeup." That says it all. When your hair is cut to lift you, your whole presence follows. So if your current look feels like background noise, this softly voluminous lob might just be your mic drop. If your hair's been feeling a little too quiet lately, tell me, what would you change? And if you thought shag cuts were too wild for your taste, wait until you see this modern take. It's feathered, it's fresh, and it's up next. Number 3, feathered shag. Movement, lightness, and quiet confidence. Sometimes you want to shake things up, just not so hard that people ask if you've joined a band. That's the sweet spot where the feathered shag with airy movement lives. It's soft, it's current, and it gives your hair that barely there edge without screaming makeover. If your style has felt a little too behaved lately, this cut adds just enough attitude to wake everything up. What makes this version of the shag perfect for women over 60 is how weightless it looks. These aren't the heavy, rebellious shags of the 70s. We're not doing rockstar layers or frizz explosions. This is about texture. Light, tapered layers that break up bulk, add bounce, and let your natural shape breathe again. The key here is in the feathering. These layers don't stack, they drift. They float around the face and crown, softening the profile and adding that kind of lived-in motion that says, yes, I meant to look this cool. And bonus, it's incredible for creating that windswept lift around the temples and cheekbones. If your hair tends to feel dense, thick, or just too still, this cut gives it direction again. It's especially flattering on oval or round faces because it elongates visually while still adding width where it helps. High up near the eyes, not down near the jawline. And emotionally, it feels freeing. Women often say, I wanted to feel lighter without looking like I was trying to be younger. That's exactly what the feathered shag does. It makes your look feel current without chasing trends or sacrificing polish. It also grows out beautifully. Because the layers are so blended and organic, there's no harsh regrowth phase. It just gradually softens over time, which makes it a favorite for women who don't want to be in the salon every 4 weeks. Color plays beautifully here too. Whether you've embraced your silver, added soft highlights, or are somewhere in between, the feathering brings dimension and keeps the eye moving. It doesn't just flatter your hair, it flatters your energy. Here's the thing, you can still feel a little edgy without having to explain yourself. You don't need to chop it all off or dye it bright red. Sometimes all it takes is movement, soft, thoughtful movement, to bring your whole face back into focus. So if you're craving something lighter, livelier, and quietly confident, the feathered shag might be your new favorite whisper. I'd love to know, does this feel like a cut you'd actually try? Up next, a bold but elegant take, where curtain bangs meet layered bounce. Number 4, choppy layers with curtain bangs. Soft edge, bold energy. Let's be honest, bangs can go very right or very wrong. One snip too high and suddenly you're reliving your 3rd grade school photo. But done right, Curtain bangs paired with choppy layers might just be the most flattering power combo for mature faces. This cut is for women who still want a little edge, but with control. Choppy layers create texture and shape without adding too much volume in the wrong places. The layers are uneven, but by design. They move, they lift, and they break up any heaviness around the midface and jaw. Now add curtain bangs. These aren't blunt, straight-across bangs. They're parted softly at the center or off to the side, and they fall just around the eyes, framing them like a natural spotlight. You instantly get softness at the forehead, width at the temples, and a visual break that balances longer or fuller lower faces. It's like contouring, but with scissors instead of makeup. This style is especially magical for faces that feel longer, thinner, or sharper. The movement from the choppy layers keeps things playful and light, while the curtain fringe brings in that gentle, almost romantic quality. It's sharp but soft, bold but approachable. And if you've got a high forehead, congratulations, this was made for you. The bangs lower the visual height just enough, without boxing in your face or making you feel hidden. Plus, they're grown-up bangs. They don't scream trying too hard. They whisper, "I know exactly what I'm doing." Styling is surprisingly easy. You can blow dry with a round brush to give the layers lift and bend, or let them fall naturally with a bit of styling cream or salt spray. The curtain bangs practically style themselves. Tuck them back when you want, let them loose when you don't. And when the wind blows, even better. This cut was made to move. One of the most unexpected benefits, it brings attention straight to the eyes. Women often tell me, people keep asking me what's different, but they can't quite put their finger on it. That's the beauty of this look. It doesn't shout, it suggests. Ever had someone say, "You look great," but not know why? Tell me about that moment. If you've been stuck between playing it safe and doing something bold, this might be your bridge. It says you still love a little drama, just the elegant kind. Want something softer but still sculpted? Up next, the cut that shapes your face without piling on the volume. Number 5, sliced layers with rounded ends, shape that softens, not sharpens. There's something instantly graceful about hair that curves inward just slightly at the ends. It's subtle, feminine, almost like a soft punctuation mark framing your face. That's exactly what the sliced layered cut with rounded ends offers. It's not showy. It doesn't demand attention, but it draws you in, especially when paired with the quiet confidence that comes with age. This cut is designed for movement, but not the kind that flutters or flips. Instead, it flows. The layers are long and tapered, sliced in, not chopped, so they fall cleanly with a gentle curve toward the face. The result is a seamless silhouette that elongates the neck, softens the cheeks, and balances the jaw without sharp corners or aggressive angles. It's ideal for anyone who feels their current cut looks a bit too blocky or flat. If your hair has been hanging in one-length panels, or if it tends to collect bulk at the bottom, this style breaks it up beautifully, without looking like it's been layered. That's the genius. The layers disappear into the shape, but leave behind softness and lift. And here's something subtle but powerful, the rounded ends. They curl inward just enough to mimic the contour of the cheek or jawline, drawing the eye up instead of down. It's the visual trick of youthfulness, without trying to look young. It just feels lighter, more open, more deliberate. This cut works especially well for medium-density hair that's straight or slightly wavy. And if you're growing out a shorter style or transitioning away from a blunt bob, this is a beautiful in-between that won't make you feel stuck. Low maintenance? Absolutely. Most of the shape is built into the cut itself, so even on a no-styling day, it still holds its form. A light brush, maybe a little smoothing cream, and you're out the door looking polished without the effort. And when you catch your reflection in passing, you'll notice it. Not because your hair is shouting, but because it's finally complimenting your face, not competing with it. Sometimes, the quietest cuts make the loudest impact. If you've been craving softness and shape without sacrificing structure, This could be your match. Do you prefer movement or clean lines in your hair? Drop a comment. I'm curious. If your waves have been feeling more wild than wonderful lately, the next cut is made just for you. Number 6, medium layers for natural texture. Let your waves lead the way. Some mornings you wake up, look in the mirror, and think, did my hair get bigger overnight or just more confusing? If you've got natural texture, waves, curls, or anything in between, you know the struggle. After 60, hair doesn't always behave like it used to. It flattens in some places, puffs in others, and somehow manages to feel heavy and frizzy at the same time. But here's the truth no one talks about enough. Textured hair is a gift, if the cut knows how to handle it. That's where the medium-length layered cut for natural texture comes in. This style isn't about forcing your hair into submission. It's about letting it move the way it wants to, but with more shape, more lightness, and a lot less chaos. The structure is deceptively simple. Layers are carved strategically, not all over, but in targeted areas where curls tend to clump or fall flat. Around the crown, to build lift. Near the ends, to remove bulk. And gently around the face to frame, not fight, your natural pattern. This cut is brilliant for creating air between the curls, which gives the hair bounce instead of bulk. Think soft halo instead of triangle. It takes away that weighed-down effect and replaces it with lift, movement, and softness, all without changing the fundamental texture. And let's be honest, textured hair tells stories. It has personality. What this cut does is bring out its best lines, its best angles, its best flow. You're not hiding the waves anymore. You're shaping them. Styling becomes refreshingly easy. A good leave-in cream or light curl spray is often enough. No need for flat irons, rollers, or heavy products. Your natural texture finally does the heavy lifting, beautifully. Plus, this style is forgiving. If you go a few days without washing, the shape holds. If the weather turns humid, it still works. There's elegance in that kind of ease. And if you've ever felt like your curls were wearing you instead of the other way around, this cut flips that script. Because the right medium cut doesn't erase your texture, it elevates it. If you've got natural waves or curls, what's been your biggest hair frustration lately? Coming up next, we're wrapping up with a style that blends polish, lift, and versatility. Perfect for the woman who wants just one great go-to cut that does it all. Number 7, the polished medium cut. Versatile, balanced, and beautiful from every angle. Some haircuts aren't here to make a statement. They're here to make you the statement. That's the quiet power of the polished, layered medium cut with subtle lift. A shape that doesn't demand attention, but always earns it. It's graceful, versatile, and effortlessly flattering across face shapes, hair textures, and lifestyles. What sets this style apart is its balance. The layers are placed with purpose. Not too high, not too choppy. They follow the natural fall of the hair, adding gentle movement without shouting layers from across the room. This is the kind of cut that looks good from every angle, even when you're not trying. At the crown, there's just enough lift to create lightness. It elongates the face without adding width, making it a great choice for round, square, or heart-shaped faces. Around the sides, the layers curve ever so slightly inward, not to close off the face, but to guide the eyes toward the features that matter. The eyes, the smile, the quiet confidence. And here's the beauty. This cut isn't dramatic, but it is effective. It gives your hair shape on day 1 and still looks lovely on day 5. You can style it smooth, flip the ends out, add a few soft waves, or even tuck it behind the ears. It adapts. It evolves. And best of all, it never overwhelms. For women who don't want to commit to something bold but are ready to let go of the safe but shapeless look, this cut is the bridge. It's the you but lifted version. It says, I'm not reinventing myself, I'm refining her. And if you're someone who's worn the same haircut for years, this is a beautiful way to step forward without stepping outside your comfort zone. It still feels like you, but lighter, fresher, and far more flattering. A stylist once described this cut as the gentle push your face didn't know it needed. I'd call it a quiet revolution, one that starts right at the shoulders and ends with a nod of approval from your reflection. And now that we've explored the full range, from soft to structured, edgy to elegant, there's only one thing left to ask. Which cut feels most like you? Which of these cuts speaks most to you so far? I'd love to hear it before we wrap up. So here's what we've uncovered. Modern medium cuts aren't about chasing trends or hiding age. They're about creating lightness where there was heaviness, movement where things once felt stuck, softness where sharp lines used to live. We've explored cuts that frame the face, open the eyes, lift the jaw, and bring life back into your reflection, without ever trying to make you look like someone else. Because the real magic isn't in the scissors. It's in the decision to choose a style that works with you, your texture, your features, your rhythm, not against them. You don't need dramatic change to feel different. Sometimes, all it takes is the right shape, a soft layer here, a subtle lift there, just enough to bring your features forward and make you feel seen again. Maybe you found a cut here that feels like a fit. Or maybe this video just opened the door to the idea that your hair doesn't have to feel like a compromise. Either way, you've earned the right to choose style over habit and beauty over invisibility. If something resonated with you, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment below and tell me which style spoke to you. Or better yet, which one you're thinking about trying next. And remember, aging isn't something we hide, it's something we style. Until next time, this is Elder Insights, where every phase of life deserves to look and feel just as good as it is.